Hills, as you know, plays a big factor into this. He's had a very interesting pathway to get to this point. It has not been easy. He went to Delaware, only played 3 years there, became academically ineligible, became a security guard, just hustling and waiting for another opportunity. He took on the night shift, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., working out, then went to Slippery Rock, got his opportunity, and has seized it. He tells me that he is not taking this opportunity for granted, and I expect him to do some big things here today, especially because his mom is in the stands.
Gavin Holmes makes his return to Michigan, slips on the opening kick, and that is going to be a huge loss. So Michigan breaking in another starting quarterback, and they will start at the 5. First shot for Brian Lewerke, the Michigan State Spartan.
Not ideal field position for an inexperienced quarterback to kick things off here on offense for Michigan.
We got pistol left trips. Z, lays gut, Z crab on one, right? On my right side,
West Hills will not start at running back. It's Matthew Colburn out of Wake Forest. Number 26 immediately behind Lewerke. And it is Colburn showing the shiftiness. And that is how you get yourself in more comfortable field position.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup on an early down. Get some confidence for this offense. Get out of the shadow of your own end zone.
Here we go. We got left rip zone. I want it.
Line up, run it here again.
Here we go.
And it's Marcus Sims at the bottom of the screen, wearing number 9. Back to the ground, and the Demon Deacon, Matthew Colburn with the seam, busting it off to the 35. 23-yard pickup. We got a thunder and lightning combination. That's lightning there. Marcel Belfait calling the plays.
Here we go. We got Rex Classy, Liz, stick switch on one, right? Rex.
Predictable start here, Tom.
Absolutely, and a smart start if you're Marcel Belfait, because you cannot put your quarterback in disadvantageous situations.
Ready, set.
Lewerke to throw for the first time and complete to Cioce Mariner, the Utah State Aggie, who's really coming on strong.
Well, he's become a go-to guy and a compliment to Marcus Sims as the outside receiving threat. Mariner's that guy you can dink and dunk to. It's going to make reliable catches on critical downs.
Hey, wait, we're going to go on silver here, on silver, right? We got pistol L train rip stretch on silver, ready?
Lewerke, the all-time leader at Michigan State in total offense.
Look at that rip
A lot of
stretch.
football for Sparty. Back to Colburn. Colburn with a little lead, still up, after the pop, to the 40, 30, catch me if you can, cutting it back. Will he get another block? No, but the damage is done inside the 10, 53 yards from Matthew Colburn.
Well, this is that stretch, that's outside zone. You're going to see number 43, Francis Bernard, come in and deliver the blow right there. But he doesn't wrap up. He doesn't take him to the ground. Great contact balance by Colburn right there, taking it down the sidelines. And what an impressive opening drive for an inexperienced quarterback. A healthy run game, and now you are rolling with confidence if you're Michigan on offense.
He just bounced off that tackle attempt via the hurdle. Play action, the fake to West Hills. Lewerke can do it as well, showing off the athleticism in zone. And when Michigan scores in the first quarter, they are undefeated this season.
Yeah, 3-0 Lowell, and what tremendous awareness right there. You see Mike Nolan, the head football coach, are going to decide what they want to do here as far as the extra points concerned, but what a confidence builder. You move the pocket off of the token fake, and now you've got a two-man route. You don't want to force it. You don't want to throw it into a crowd. You got to understand where you're at on the field. Smart play by Brian Lewerke.
No point after kicks in the United Football League. You go for 1, 2, or 3. This is a 1-point conversion from the 2-yard line.
Here's the big dog, West Hills, as we talked about. We're going to call zone here again. This is not complicated if you're Michigan on offense.
Lewerke to throw in the hands of Samson Nakua. And it's a 7-0 Michigan lead. Think about the way this was set up, Tom. Backed up to the 5,
Yep.
With the quarterback that has not taken a snap this season, you go 95 yards.
You go 95 yards, you're running the football, and then the play selection when you want to throw it, you're making easy underneath reads, half-field reads for Brian Lewerke. So you've got this massive long run that gives you bona fide field position inside the red area. Again, watch 43 Francis Bernard right there. He delivers a pop, but he doesn't wrap up. Coburn does the rest. And Kayla Burton, how about this guy, huh?
That was unbelievable. Matthew, take me through what you saw.
I saw the O-line giving relentless effort, blocking up front. So I just put my foot in the ground, try to make something happen. Shout out to O-line. Oh, also happy Mother's Day, Mama. Love you.
I would say that's important. Hey, congratulations. Good job. Good work.
Hey, thank you.
Guys.
He's also a singer with a stage name, Jay Burns. I think Burns referring to the getaway sticks.
Yeah, right? He's gasping for air right now. He needs oxygen.
Big leg of Jake Bates. Will have plenty of time to talk to him. Kicks it away to Chris Rowland. Rowland will set up DC in much better field position. Rowland wants more. And it is a 33-yard return for Rowland. Jordan Ta'amu out of Ole Miss. Last season's XFL Offensive Player of the Year, coming off his best game.
82 Gator, alert 46.
2 plays in one right here. Depending on what the defense gives him, offensive coordinator Fred Kites wants him to have options. This is a revamped offensive line for DC. They finally feel like they got a pretty good group. That's right, starting 5 now.
Cameron Harris out of Miami, the starting tailback. Ta'amu will throw. And into the midst of Kelvin Harmon. The man that Harry Douglas broke down off the top of the broadcast at back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with North Carolina State.
Likely a guy that would still be in the National Football League had he not torn his ACL.
Well, it starts on the ground for the defenders, but Ta'amu does have 4 receivers and 1 tight end that all have NFL game experience. Little reverse here. Kiki, QT, out of Texas Tech. That's how they do it in West Texas. Stiff arm, dancing down the sideline. Big gain for Kiki, QT.
Here we go.
Fred Kice calling those magical plays.
29 force. 29 force.
Let's go. Half to curl left. 29 force. I'm ready.
So there's your odd and your even numbers. Odd to the left, even to the right. Get back to running the football, which is what they want to do.
At 28-yard pickup, the longest run of the season for the defenders. Here's Harris, met in the backfield, but a flag down as Breland Speaks out of Ole Miss got there way too easy. That looked like him ripping through the line against Mississippi State in the 8 Bowl back in the day.
Holding. Number 18 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's going to go against the tight end out of Tennessee, Alex Ellis.
Yeah, 57, Breland Speaks. Number 13, Bryce Tornadin. Very disruptive, penetrating and creating a negative play right there off the left side of the offensive line.
Speaks with 6 tackles for loss this season, tied for the most in the United Football League. So now a 1st and 20 for Ta'amu.
Yes. Ready. Set, go.
Ta'amu back over the middle, broken up, dangerous play, but it falls harmlessly incomplete. He was looking for Caden Smith. So Tom, big storyline here with DC. We mentioned that run from a receiver, 28 yards, the longest of the year. They've had to adjust without last season's leading rusher in the XFL, Abram Smith.
Yeah, going from a load carrier to running back by committee, using 3 running backs, particularly last week in their win versus San Antonio. And they received Kuti right there from his wide receiver position.
Tight window, but complete to Harmon. His 2nd catch on this opening drive. Give him 6 yards.
Right here on this 3rd down, guys, it's You have to be mindful if you're Joe Tiamo. At worst, you're going to get a field goal here or try to attempt one. So don't be loose with the football. You don't want to turn it over. You want to kind of make sure you're able and have a chance to get 3 points here.
Double check, Tucson. Wide.
I agree with you, Harry. There's no question. Have some situational awareness and come away with points.
With all the talk about Jake Bates on the other sideline for Michigan, Matthew McCrane out of Kansas State is right in that conversation. The best kickers in the league. We'll check down underneath the Harris. Harris loses his footing. Let's talk about that, though, as Matthew McCrane comes out. This is the only natural grass surface in the United Football League. There was heavy rain this morning and last night. The showers were not long, but they really came down.
Well, on a soccer field, there's no pitch, there's no crown, so there's nowhere for the water to drain. We saw players throughout pregame warm-up on both sides struggling to keep their footing, particularly the kickers.
So Matthew McCrane, Bill Snyder's kicker in his late days at Kansas State, lines this one up for 43 yards out, and it is no good. Such a promising start to the drive.
No good. The ball replaced
by
the start of the
DC
kick.
ends up with nothing. That holding call, brutal. Michigan leads 7-0 after the opening 2 drives. Light Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Gorgeous day here in our nation's capital. Not far from here, Charlottesville, Virginia is where Bryce Perkins played his college football. Wrapped up his college career with 2 outstanding seasons, primarily as a rushing threat for the Cavaliers. Parlayed that to a short stint in the NFL with the Rams. Actually started a game in 2022 when Matthew Stafford was out with a concussion. But he's been with these Panthers for only 2 weeks. And a quick throw to Sims, and Sims is going to follow the blockers forward for a nice pickup on first.
Kind of the recipe, right? Get the ball out of your hands quickly, get it to Marcus Sims, and then run the football on the inside.
Pistol right trip zing, rip duo. Pistol right trip zing, rip duo over right.
So we got both quarterbacks mic'd up, anticipating there would be this switch. It came early after the Lewerke let the opening touchdown drive, albeit a lot was worked like this. Wes Hills pounding. Remember those player props. The line on Wes Hills, 33.5 rushing yards in this game. You and I took the over. So did Caleb.
Well, then just hand it to him again.
Liz zone, X5, over right.
Sims in motion. Make the family proud. They're here to see you make plays like that. Huge stiff arm to the 40-yard line. Grew up not too far from here in Bowie, Maryland.
Counts as a forward pass, and really Michigan leaves 2 defenders unblocked. It just counts on Marcus Sims and that speed to get to the perimeter and turn the corner. Well executed play.
However, Sims did hobble off. We're working on his leg right now. Has been a little banged up with an early season back injury. They need him to remain healthy. Hills with the carry. Charney. It's not always pretty with Wes Hills, but that's his MO. And this is a DC defense that has had issues. They're 7th out of 8 teams stopping the run in this league.
Yeah, and last week they chose not to pressure San Antonio, and it played into their favor, and it really frustrated San Antonio. I would expect far more pressure today, maybe more of a 50-50 combo between Greg Williams' defense and this Michigan offense.
Mike Nolan on the other side with the inexperience at quarterback, expecting more pressure in this game. Perkins to throw, and he puts it on target. And that is Nakua with his second catch. And just letting everybody know, move the chains.
Move the chains. Does it look like Michigan's playing with a quarterback that hasn't played before? Both of these guys, Brian Lewerke gets the first series, Bryce Perkins now the second series, and they are just marching down the field.
It's difficult right now for the DC defenders defense because Michigan is having so much success on first down, so you don't know if it's going to be pass or it's going to be a run. But Marcel Belfay doing a great job calling plays for Michigan right now.
And already 99 rushing yards for the Michigan Panthers. Back to the ground, now over 100 in the game already. Wes Hills, lower the shoulder, lower the boom. Kayla with more on Wes Hills.
Well, I asked him what separates you from other backs. He says, I'm not just a one-dimensional back. I can do it all. I can run, I can break tackles, I can catch, I can block. You are going to see a hard-nosed player who leaves it all out there on every single play.
Yeah, and right now, Kayla, they are averaging an impressive clip. 12.7 yards per play right now from this Michigan offense.
Play clock winding down. Perkins, you heard him say, we gotta go. Gets the snap off, or did he? Reggie Barlow on the far side was calling for the delay, and he got the flag.
Prior to the snap, delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So already seeing some of the nuances. It is not quite as much time to get the play off compared to the NFL. A quarterback that's been here 2 weeks, what are the challenges there?
What you just saw, you've got to have the awareness. You know, he's thinking so much about the play and making the play correctly, getting the snap count correctly, making sure he's seeing what's going on, and not generally paying as close attention to the play clock as he should be. So the quicker they get it out of the huddle, the better this offense will be.
Moving into beer snake territory. Perkins leaves it high, and a PBU by DeAndre Baker. But we've got a penalty flag
I got a
down.
hit on a defensive player, defense number 21. Hit on a defensive player, defense number 21. The head neck of a defensive player, 21.
So they're looking at Monte Nicholson with that hit after the breakup by DeAndre Baker.
Personal foul. Hit on a defenseless player.
Baker's got his
defense
left hand
number 21.
on the hip, but
15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
High blow.
You heard the voice of Dean Blandino in the U.S. Army Command Center. He's on hand, and everything is reviewed.
Liz zone. Gonna try and hand it off here. Maybe a little RPO action as well.
Colbert, nowhere, but the bounce outside. This is what they want to do. Trying to get the running backs in space on the outside against the DC cornerbacks.
That's exactly what Greg Williams, the defender's defensive coordinator, mentioned this week. They will bounce the play to the perimeter and get you one-on-one versus a skill guy. But Marcus Sims doing a great job of the stop block there. Hey, Harry, it ain't all about catching passes.
No, you have to block for your buddy. That's what I love about Marcus Sims. He just doesn't want to catch the football, but he's also going to be there for his teams, as we just seen right there blocking on the perimeter.
And moving into the teeth of section 136 and 137. That is the home of the beer snake. Colburn hit. It looks like he is short and ruled down at the 1-yard line. Momo Sonogo out of Louisville, just like Harry Douglas, making the plays, but doing it defensively.
Well, right now, DC is going to stack that line of scrimmage, try to force the ball to the outside. Here we go, rip duo, so they're going to hand it off here. Give it to the big fella out of the pistol formation. Try to have two double teams up front of the offensive line. That's the term duo.
Hills, ground and pound. That's now 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games for the former All-American from Slippery Rock.
Here we go. So we're here, we're there. We're here, we're there. We're going to clear it and run it. We're going to line up. And that's just winning at the point of attack. Flat out winning the Michigan offensive line, taking on the defenders' defensive front.
And just steamrolled and threw a Kelly out of Fresno State there. Mike Nolan electing for another one-point conversion. These are hitting across the league coming into this week at a 42% clip. 2-point conversions at 40%. And it's going to be back to Hills. We have a flag down, however, on the near side.
False start, offense 75.
False start, 75 with the offense. 5-yard penalty. Try will be from the 8-yard line.
So now,
7-yard line.
Even though the penalty moves this back to the 7-yard line, this will still count as a one-point conversion.
Correct. Now you might see a little bit more of a run-pass option here on the play call.
Hey, Rex, hey, Rick, on the return, lucky. All one, right? Like, no, it's not.
Play clock winding down yet again. Perkins, some pressure on the left side, and the pressure gets home. Andre Mintz, the Vandy Commodore, coming up with the stop on the one-point conversion.
Timeout on the field.
But does it really matter who's the quarterback at this point for the Panthers? This offense is rolling behind Brian Lewerke and that man, Bryce Perkins. 13-0 Michigan.
To say he was not nice about what he was saying. He was telling him he didn't care if anyone was grabbing. Let's finish this game the right way, trying to motivate his defense to get a stop. Right now, the Michigan Panthers on offense, they're having their way, and Greg Williams just let his guys know that that is not the way for the DC defenders.
Well, he told us in our calls leading up to this game, if you do not show effort and toughness, you're going to be up in the stands selling beer. That was his way of putting how important it is to play all out. This defense having issues. Here's Rowland to return out of Tennessee State, and a fantastic stop made by Samson Nakua. So the Nakua family showing out in the early stages for Michigan. Well, coming up next right here on ESPN, we had the second game of our UFL doubleheader. 4-2 Brahmas taking on the 1-5 Roughnecks in Houston. Why this matters for this game? If Michigan can hold on and win, and then San Antonio takes down Houston, we have at least one playoff matchup set. It would be Birmingham against Michigan in the USFL Conference playoff.
Here we go. It's up.
Darius Hagan's now in at running back for DC. Little pop pass. Don't let him go! Ty Scott out of Missouri State and out of any chance to be caught. 70-yard score. That's how you get back into the game with the longest play of the year for the DC defender.
So this is what we call the glance. They're going to fake run here, they're going to fake lead block, and you're going to have a slant route coming right here. And all the quarterback's got to do is read the defender. You let this thing clear, the defender's going to dip down inside, number 13, and now you throw the slant right behind him. Really well executed. Jordan Ta'amu got the look that he wanted, that he needed. It's an easy one-on-one pitch and catch.
This will be the 2-point conversion from the 5-yard line.
Here we go. Ready to go up. Ready.
Eggs bouncing. Met by all of the Panthers. So that 2-point attempt will be denied, but that is the spark that DC needed. A lot of questions about Reggie Barlow's team. Are they back? Who are they? They had the biggest loss in the UFL this season 2 weeks ago against St. Louis. Bounced back with the win last week against San Antonio. Who are these guys?
Well, each team's different, right? A year ago, every bounce they needed happened. No injuries. They were able to run the football with Abram Smith. They had quarterback run with Jordan Ta'amu, a settled offensive line. This year, they've been the exact opposite. An unsettled offensive line, a quarterback in Jordan Ta'amu who's taken a ton of hits. Abram Smith goes down to an ACL injury. So now you're utilizing a 3 running back system to try to get that run game going. They did last week. They started to look like themselves. And now, fortunately, have that big spark, big play to get on the field. It's just a different look, DC. Doesn't mean they're not a good football team, Harry.
Yes, I'm down right here on the field with Ty Scott, the guy who just caught that touchdown pass. What was your route? What did you see? What's going through your mind?
5-step glance post, man. I just literally was talking to our equipment guy. I said, man, we got to switch to plan B, man. Get the ball at the 30, catch it on the 40, and go score for 60.
Once the defender missed the tackle, what did you say to yourself?
It's Mother's Day. Go score for all the mothers out here. Happy Mother's Day.
Thanks, Ty.
Yes, sir.
So whoever the equipment guy is, evidently, yeah, he needs a raise.
Where's Coach Fred Keiss? I thought he was in the booth next to us over here.
It's just kind of like a Ted Lasso story.
Yeah. Well, Scott's a guy they've been talking about for a couple of weeks, that they've got to get more involved. We've talked about Kelvin Harmon. Scott's a big play threat, as we just saw right there. And now finally some life in the stadium. The beer snakes under the early construction right now in the north end zone. See if this defense can come up with some plays.
So, guys, funny story about that. The equipment guy that he was talking about happened to be my equipment guy when I was with the Atlanta Falcons. His name is Kenny Asamoah, and he literally just came to me and said, we just talked about that. So shout out to those guys for having that vision and seeing it happen before it actually happened.
Now, there's the beginning of the beer snake. We just saw it.
Early stages.
There are rules here. It cannot be deemed a beer snake until it's long enough for it to bend.
Yes.
Just keep that in mind here.
We're going to have some numbers on that later on as well.
Lewerke back in at quarterback, and this has been the go-to man, and Matthew Colburn. He loses a yard, however, as Dennis Johnson is there with the stop. We're going to see a variety of defensive fronts from DC because of what they're anticipating.
Yeah, they're anticipating heavy run, and you know, early on, DC has not handled that well. So what they're going to start doing is really crowding that line and daring Michigan to go over the top. You see one single high safety here defensively. A lot of one-on-ones out wide.
Lewerke standing tall. It's going to be an overthrow as Sims was trying to run free. Let's check in with Greg Williams.
All right, now listen to me. And Joker, pay attention. Okay, pay attention. Jet games, kick strong. Jet games, kick strong. Make sure the secondary knows.
So they're going to play some games up front. Might be some line stunts and some twists. Try to create some pressure.
This is where you would want your standout Derek Roberson, one of the top pass rushers. He's a no-go for this game. Lewerke in and out of the hands as it was thrown just behind Marcus Sims. A huge win for Greg Williams and the DC Defender defense.
This is a catchable football, but not a very well thrown football. I think in professional football, you make this catch. If you're Brian Lewerke, you haven't played much, this ball's got to be about a foot in front of the numbers to the inside so Marcus Sims can run through the ball. Instead, he's got to stop, go back to the right hip, and it just makes it more difficult. Should have been caught, should have been a better throw.
Brock Miller on to punt this one away. The punt is off. The UFL Gunners cannot move downfield more than a yard until it's kicked. Punt is muffed. Ball free. And Michigan is able to pounce on it. Deshaun White, right spot, right time. That's how they do it for Boomer Sooner.
Well, initially, I thought they were going to get at least a running into the kicker here on Michigan. Instead, you've got a muffed return, and Deshaun White properly recovering the football, sliding into it, as opposed to pouncing on it so the ball doesn't squirt out. Well done, well coached there. Now, again, tremendous field position. DC defense back on the field.
And this is the type of situation DC was faced with in the loss against St. Louis, being backed up defensively.
They had 10 defensive series in the game versus St. Louis where they started inside their own 30. Not a recipe for success.
Here we go. We got Rex Class in mid zone on the silver. Right?
Well, they are not complicated, as you've heard today. Rip zone, Liz zone, stretch.
Oh, the work, he wasn't ready. Lost it, got it back. One step forward, one step back.
Again, that's that inexperience, right? Haven't played a lot. You got a cadence, you got a center communication. Got to iron those things out. You heard those quarterback, Brian Lewerke right there talking with his center. Hey, my fault, my fault.
Lewerke has not played at all this season. It was E.J. Perry to start the year. Danny Etling at LSU got the wins in the last 2 weeks. He's got an issue with his non-throwing hand and is the emergency quarterback here today. Lewerke using the legs. He's past the line of scrimmage. Will have to roll. Block on the outside, and he's back to the original line of scrimmage. There is a flag down. Samson Nakua was the man with the block.
What do you got? He led with the hand, so no Bly.
Where's the end of the run? 22. I have it. The 22. I have it.
Block in the back, 86 offense from the flag. Flag's good.
Legal block in the back, 86 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
So problematic was that block from Nakua.
The clock will start on my signal.
Going to see where we've got him highlighted right here. And if Samson Nakua's helmet is to the right side of that DC defender's helmet, I don't think they make that call. But because he's behind him, you're left with no choice.
End of the first quarter. We've got 19 total points, in case you have interest in that total, which is at 40.5. Michigan scored the first 13. DC has come back.
Well, Mother, hello, and happy Mother's Day. You must be so proud to see your son do what he's doing.
I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the sacrifice that he's made to serve our country.
I got to put you on the spot. What do you love most about your mama?
Everything.
Everything.
There's not enough I can describe. You know.
What makes her so special?
She's mine, my mom. So. Yeah.
Well, we're so grateful for you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your family for being here. Congratulations and happy Mother's Day to you and all the mothers at home. Guys, back to you.
Cole Hicatini, the tight end out of Louisville, just thought he had made the catch of the day. However, slipped through his hands, and the defenders were there to help the officials with that call. You see the frustration.
That was an exceptional effort, and really the only place the ball could have been thrown, Lowell. It was just a remarkably difficult grab.
So from 1st and 10 at the 21 to now a 3rd and 27. Here comes the pressure. Greg Williams style. And Lewerke, low throw to Sims. So what time is it? Harry Douglas, what time is it?
It is time for Jake Bates.
This is the face of the United Football League.
Count him up.
Jake Bates has made his way out onto the pitch. This will be his first opportunity on the professional level to kick on a natural grass surface. He had the walk-off from 42 yards last week against Arlington. His second game winner of the season. This from 56. Movement, low snap, flag down. And it looked like that one was wide. Certainly had the leg, though.
Yeah, it looked like a botched snap and hold, just trying to get the ball down. Certainly a penalty involved.
Encroachment, number 7 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So move it up for the young man out of Arkansas. Grew up as a soccer player, so probably loves being on this pitch inside an MLS stadium here in DC. Then started getting into kicking, but was a kickoff specialist at Texas State and then Arkansas. Did not kick field goals in games because he was behind 2 prolific kickers. Now it's his moment. He's already made 3 from 60 plus. That's ridiculous. This from 51. Does Bates keep rolling? Of course he does. We saw him follow his shot like Steph Curry after that kick. Beautiful. There's no doubt now about Jake Bates.
Listen, he hammered this thing, and there are going to be other opportunities in this game where he's going to be backed up, and Coach Mike Nolan's going to have no problem attempting a field goal. And really, his only misses have been outdoors. That's why that make was so important.
Gets into the face of DeAndre Baker, who had the pressure, which eventually led Bates to be on his backside, got up and looked right at the former Georgia Bulldog and said, I got it. Some of that SEC nastiness that you love. But it's usually not coming from the kicker.
No, it's not. But you're right, and it's not just been Jake Bates. The kicking game, the kickers in particular in the UFL, team by team, have been fantastic.
And this is ultimately what's going to help him get a shot. What he can do in the kick game on kickoffs because of that golden big leg.
Yeah. This is why he was a specialist when he did kick in college. This roll right here.
This is a kick to about the 15. Rolling, his last opportunity on a punt return, coughed it up. He's undersized, but man, tough to bring down. That will set up solid field position for DC. Here's the UFL Week 8 schedule. Saturday, it's the Showboats taking on the Panthers at 4 Eastern on Fox. Then the undefeated Stallions host the Roughnecks at 8 Eastern on ESPN2. Sunday, DC squaring off against the Battlehawks at noon Eastern on ABC, followed by the Renegades and Brahmas at 4 on Fox. And that DC-St. Louis rematch is going to be critical. Big proving ground for the defenders. And if they can find a way to win this and then beat St. Louis, the XFL race is going to be nuts. Ta'amu back to work. Harris got rid of one tackle, 2, but then the initial man in pursuit, Deshaun White, makes the stop.
Really impressive there by Deshaun White, leveraging the football, bouncing it to the outside until his partners get in position and continue to run that ball down the sideline.
You also see Kai Nakua coming downhill like a missile, trying to make that play as well.
Well, they need someone to emerge as a presence in this Michigan defense. They are playing without Frank Ginda, their middle linebacker, one of the best tacklers in the UFL, and that one is tipped by Javen White.
Wow.
This is the man that's now starting in place of Frank Ginda.
Well, if he doesn't tip that ball, they are running down the middle of the field, probably for a touchdown, splitting the 2 Michigan defenders, and they knew it. What a play right there on the back end. And when you're filling in, you need your guys that are filling in to make plays.
Had 9 interceptions in his career at UNLV, 6th all time. Ginda, by the way, on the injured reserve. He is out for the season. Ta'amu here on 3rd and 12. Pass is complete to Kelvin Harmon, but Nate Brooks out of North Texas was right there with the immediate impact.
Man, those are strong hands, Harry, you talked about. He's contested with, and he just takes the ball out of the sky.
I actually thought it was a great route, too, especially on this surface, getting his chin over his toes to make sure he doesn't slip, but strong catching the football. They're really high on him here in the DC Defenders organization.
I just wish he could have gotten a little deeper, get him closer to the line to gain there on 3rd down.
Paxton Brooks, Tennessee Volunteer, low punt, off the snap, I should say, and that is going to try to check up, and it does. So into the end zone, it would have come out on the 25, but instead, that punt is down by Nadir Rouse. So great job with the DC special teams. Michigan taking over on offense next. Good time. You have Michigan backed up inside the 10. First time resulted in the 94-yard touchdown drive. Hills has Green tripped up, but first down yardage. And if you took Hills on the over at 33.5 rushing yards. That certainly helps.
Michael Joseph, number 15, has got to make this tackle in the hole. He misses the tackle in the hole. He's the unblocked defender, and you can't do that versus a Wes Hills who, once he gets ahead of steam, he's going. Now, you just heard that. Belly, X and Z, bang. That's going to be those quick slants. See if Bryce Perkins hands it off or reads it here.
Hills needs 2 more rushing yards for that player prop to hit if you took the over. Perkins with plenty of time, and one hands by Marcus Sims. You want to get comfortable, find the go-to guy.
That's exactly what they had. They were going to give the token fake in the backfield. He pulls it, throws the second window slant route to Marcus Sims right there. Woo, nice.
I like the physicality, guys. I don't care for DB. If you have to push him, grab him, throw him down, make the officials call it. They did not. Great job by Marcus Sims.
Player prop on him, 48.5 receiving yards. He's up to 36. Perkins, a pop pass to Cole Hicatini. Hicatini, sideline, physicality, take it out to the 45-yard line. That was Lamar Jackson's favorite target back in the day at Louisville, showing off why.
Right now, it's like death by 1,000 cuts. You got Hicatini right there, bowling through defenders. You got inside power run. You got perimeter screen and flat routes. You've got the glance routes coming behind the token fake, giving DC a little bit of everything. And man, another monster drive.
Perkins, by the way, 5 for 5, 63 yards, his first pro action since the LA Rams back in 2022. Great touch to Hicatini. He's out in the pasture and just rolling. Got to give so much credit to Marcel Belfay, 2 new quarterbacks. He's dialing up a beauty.
Pistol, left trips, Zuff, Liz zone. Pistol, left trips, Zuff, Liz zone.
Hey, pistol, left trips, Zuff, Liz zone.
Well, that last play was a bust. DC busted on assignment. Greg Williams knows it. Michigan takes advantage of it. Again, we may have a run-pass option here from Bryce Perkins.
Hills, Perkins pulls it back. He's able to find Nakua. And the Nakua family has been busy. Sampson showing what he can do offensively. Kai defensively. And then, of course, Puka. Star with the Rams.
Common denominator, they're all big.
Yeah, they're all big. Get back to the run game here, right? Formation, Liz is his own. To the left.
To Hills. And that's going to put us right there at the over-hitting for Wes Hills with the 3-yard pickup. Perkins on 3rd and 1 will keep. Initially, it looks like he's got the yardage. It's going to be close, though.
They're going to go for it whether he got it or not.
Absolutely.
I just love this game plan from Marcel
Belfay?
Yeah, Coach Belfay, excuse me, as I'm looking down here at my sheet.
Timeout for a measure.
He's given DC an awful lot to digest. It's inside, then it's way outside. The passing game, play action, token fakes in the backfield. A lot of eye candy.
So the way the measurements work here, we don't have a chain game that will come out to spot the ball. Instead, we use True Line. And this is with a series of 4K cameras spread throughout the stadium, showing us that the spot is short by 15 inches. So that will set up a 4th down situation.
Short of the line to gain, 4th down.
And look at the sub package for Michigan. 12 personnel, two tight ends. Your big back, Wes Hills, comes in to the game.
Eighth play of the drive. Perkins says, if we don't get one, we don't deserve it.
This is the play they scored a touchdown on that first drive.
Nakua in motion, coming in tight. Hill slipped. He's not going to get a stop. They get a stop. Greg Williams gets his guys fired up, and they respond.
That's Malik Fisher. That right there is Momo Sinago. Watch as they end up penetrating here, and then he works off the block to make the tackle. Really well done at the point of attack. Look at the penetration from Fisher. And now Sinago works the block, comes down, fills the hole. Really well done up front.
The only Villanova Wildcat hotter than that man right now is Jalen Brunson with the New York Knicks. To Amu to throw, the Ole Miss Rebel. I don't know if Roland was the intended receiver or not, but it's off his hands. Harry.
I'm here with defensive coordinator for the Defenders, Greg Williams. A big 4th and 1 stop. You went to a bare front. Why did you go that, Coach?
Well, the bare front, you know, Buddy Ryan a long time ago, and that's what we've always done. We've been able to load the box, make the lineman block, and then also I was looking for a bear to make a tackle. A few more missed tackles, and I'm going to put a bare foot up somebody's ass.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, you got it.
I think it was Mike Nolan who told us that last week the DC defense wasn't quite as colorful. They are full of color from both the commentary and the play this week.
Well, and he was right. Greg Williams, by his own account, said, listen, I was not me last week, but it was what the game plan dictated. I'm going to be getting back to being more of what we're going to be. 5-man front, bare look. Now, when you say, what is bare? Okay, that means you're going to have your center and both of your guards covered up. That 3-man heavy look inside. That was a huge defensive stand. Now you got to do something with it on a 3rd and long here.
Exactly. Do not want to go 3 and out after a momentum shifting play. There's pressure from Michigan coming up the middle. And knocking him down is Rondell Carter, the James Madison Duke, who's got 4 games in his NFL career, showing off while he was an FCS All-American.
Does a nice job on the right side of your screen. They run a little line game stunt, and he just keeps working and working and working. And the offensive tackle wants hands to the face. Good coverage downfield by the Michigan defense. Nowhere to go with the football.
Carter had some time with the Dallas Cowboys, his defensive coordinator there, Mike Nolan, who is now his head coach. This is a high, short punt. And Quinn is telling everybody to get out of the way. And finally, some good field position here for the Michigan Panthers. Tonight on Sunday Night Baseball, the Braves take on the Mets in an NL East Series finale. Coverage begins with baseball tonight at 6 Eastern, with game action beginning at 7 on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Braves trying to find that magic with the offense. Ronald Acuna off to a slow start after they had one of the most prolific offenses in the history of baseball a year ago. Lewerke, the Michigan State Spartan, back in at quarterback. Into the ground. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Matthew Colbert, positive yardage on 1st down. These are the Michigan Panthers quarterbacks under Nolan. Remember, late last season, they signed E.J. Perry, who ended up taking them to the playoffs. Then they bring in Danny Etling. E.J. Perry starts the season at quarterback. He hurts his leg. Etling leads the team to back-to-back wins, but he hurt his hand last week, still finished the game. They're saying right now he's week to week, so it is within the possibility that he makes his return this year. That's Trey Quinn, the SMU Mustang, spinning his way forward for the 1st down.
Well, so far, it's been a masterful coaching job by this Michigan coaching staff. You're playing this many quarterbacks in a supplemental spring professional league where a lot of these guys aren't going to have much experience. They all look like they've played. Bryce Perkins, Brian Lewerke, managing the offense and making good decisions. Marcel Belfay right there, the offensive coordinator, again, keeping things very simple, particularly in the run game.
Former head coach of the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Canadian Football League. Lewerke with an opportunity, middle of field, and that is a strike. Let's check in with Kayla.
You guys, you talk about that quarterback room. It is extremely active just here on the sidelines. Danny Etling may not be attentive on the field, but he's attentive on the sidelines, holding that iPad, kind of guiding these guys through the play calls. He doesn't have a headset on, but you should see, and it's very incredible to see just the cohesiveness within this group and how for each other they are. It's really paying off onto the field here.
Guys, this was a bad offense in the first couple weeks of the season.
It really was. The offensive line was the problem.
Lewerke throwing to the man in motion. It's Nacua, and Nacua moves the chains. This receiving core is showing that they are more than Marcus Sims. COC Mariner, Trey Quinn, Samson Nacua. It's a lot of targets for these quarterbacks to work with. That ultimately gives his staff hope that whoever the quarterback is, there's enough weapons for it to make it a little easier.
Well, and when you have a quarterback play that's inexperienced, hey, Liz zone, guess what? They're going to run zone to the left. I mean, this is overly simplified. When you have quarterbacks that are this inexperienced, you have to make plays for them when the ball comes your way.
Coburn, the Demon Deke. Oh, making it look too easy, just shifting his way through the DC defense until Francis Bernard brings him down. Good to see the Utah Ute back in the lineup. Did not play last week.
Really well done at the point of attack. We talked about Michigan's offensive line early on in the season being problematic. Have really come together over the last 3 weeks, playing much better football.
If you wanted to put together a mixtape on how not to play the offensive line, you would show what Michigan did in week number 2 against Birmingham.
That's correct.
That's how big of a turnaround we're talking about. Lewerke, pressure in his face, putting a touch on it, and he overthrows Devin Gray, the Cincinnati Bearcat.
Well, that's on Devin Gray. You always are supposed to expect the football as a wide receiver. He did not think he was getting it because he thought it was a clear-out route, but you never know when your number is going to be called, so you have to make sure you're attentive and ready for it.
Harry, how can you help an inexperienced quarterback as a veteran receiver?
Make plays, get open, catch the football. It might not always be the most perfect throw, but make the perfect catch for your quarterback.
Sims at the bottom of the screen on 3rd and 4, and we have a timeout call. 2-minute warning. So now an opportunity to break it down as we got a pivotal 3rd and 4 coming up. Michigan with the lead, 16-6. This game is important also for Michigan because if Brian Lewerke can lead his Michigan Panthers to a win and San Antonio beats Houston, Michigan makes the playoffs. Big 3rd and 4 here. It's where the last drive stalled. Lewerke on the spot to Samson Nacua. Did the ball come out? It's like they're marking it down and saying first down, Michigan.
How about that second effort, though, from Nacua? When he catches this football, he does not have the first down. Spins to the outside, makes the right move there, and just carries defenders for the line to gain.
I've been really impressed with the wide receiver core, guys. Last week, each one of them made big plays in that ball game to be able to get that victory. So they're coming along just fine, just like Mike Nolan hoped at the beginning of the year.
Marcus Sims again at the bottom of the screen. Lewerke looking that way, and he overthrows his tight end, Gunnar Oaks. The Eastern Michigan product. Lewerke, my bad, Gunnar. He knows it.
Hey, he knows it, man. The right-handed quarterback rolling left. Got to get those shoulders square. Throw through to the target. The missed opportunity right there. One of the few missed opportunities. Either of these sub-quarterbacks, again, 3rd, 4th quarterback. Hey, by the way, they're running zone. 3rd and 4th quarterback for Michigan, and you haven't seen very many negative plays.
Simple approach from Mike Nolan and his offense, but it's effective. Flag down. Lewerke throws low for Hicatini. Incomplete. Let's sort this one out.
Illegal formation, number 9, covering up number 84.
Illegal formation. Offense. Eligible number 84 was covered up by number 9. It's a 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So a couple things to touch on here. Inside 2 minutes, the clock will stop along the lines of college football rules. Also, you see under the available timeouts for each team, the red chiclet at the bottom, that represents the coach's challenge. We call it the super challenge in the United Football League. You can use that to challenge anything, but you have to specify exactly what you are challenging. You can only use that challenge if you have a timeout remaining. 2nd and 15, the carry for West Hills. And West Hills still upright, and he's oh so close to the end zone. Will they mark him down or say it's a touchdown? Let's figure this one out. No one knows what the call is. Hills is saying, give me another touchdown.
Right here, 12-yard line, 12-yard line.
We got it.
Wind the clock, Frank.
He's down.
Yeah.
The runner was down at the 12-yard line.
West Hill's going to make those officials earn it.
Absolutely.
Smart, heady play by West Hills, though. Don't assume any whistles have been blown, that the officials have called you down.
Didn't we see that in the national championship game years ago?
We did, the little running back from Auburn, right? Against Oregon.
You got it.
I think it was Michael Dyer.
You nailed it.
Why do I know that?
We were there together, my man.
We were.
So the Panthers take a timeout now with 48 seconds left before the break. Is this a surprise to you? I mean, DC is the favorite by 2.5.
First time out of the half, Michigan. 30 seconds in duration.
Was actually favored until that line changed early this week.
It does surprise me that DC hasn't been able to run the football more effectively and then stop the run. This hasn't been complicated for Michigan on offense. They've tailored down the game plan. They're not asking the quarterbacks to do multifaceted reads. Let's listen to Dean Blandino in the U.S. Army Command Center on that last play.
Yeah, you can see that he actually trips over his own feet. He's not touched by a defender, and then when he's touched the second time, his knee is up, but we killed the play. We blew the whistles, and you can see the DC players are reacting to that. So by rule, we can't allow the score. Unfortunately, we're stuck with the dead ball rule.
And Dean, is that anything that you can challenge?
They could, but by rules, since we blew it dead here, the players have stopped. They're reacting to the whistle, so we're stuck with that rule.
Dean Blandino in the U.S. Army Command Center. Little draw play, and it's working. Keep it on the ground and let Matthew Coburn churn out more yards before Michael Joseph makes a stop. 7-yard pickup.
It's a big decision right here because DC's going to get the ball coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter.
Mike Nolan is going to discuss this. He's got 2 timeouts to work with.
Got to call timeout, discuss this. If you're thinking about this.
But let it wind down as much as you can, because this is either end zone or field goal.
Make sure you give me the...
Second time out of the half, Michigan. 30 seconds in duration.
To hear the thought process behind this play.
Well, no thought process. He called timeout to run his field goal team onto the field.
Hey guys, we're gonna have to kick off. All right, so that'll be the last play probably.
But if you got Jake Bates,
it's a smart reminder from coach there. Excuse me, Lowell, that you're still going to have to cover the kick. This doesn't end the half.
22-yarder here for Jake Bates. This is a little chippy. And Bates nails it for his second field goal. At some point, do we got to give the holder credit in Brock Miller? I mean, for all the fantastic success that Bates has had?
Well, we've got to give long snappers and holders a lot of credit.
That's what I'm saying, guys.
The father of a long snapper right there.
My goodness.
Season's NFL schedule release show happens on Wednesday at 8 Eastern on ESPN2. Our crew will analyze each team's schedule and break down the biggest matchups this 2-hour special, and we'll reveal the Monday Night Football schedule. NFL Network will have a schedule release show as well. And that's why this league is great. This nation is always hungry for football.
Absolutely.
And this delivers when typically we're past most, if not all, the college football spring games.
Yep.
This is that time of year you're longing for some gridiron action.
Fills that great void, that great football in this league. I think the consolidation of the two leagues, the XFL and the USFL, you cut the teams in half, which maybe overpopulates the player pool, so each and every one of these teams far more talented than they were in their previous respective leagues.
Let's get everybody up to date on that total. It's at 40.5, and right now we are looking at 25 combined points.
All I know is we've already hit mine.
We all did with Wes Hills. He's at 36. He can lose yardage though, Tom. I'm just pointing that one out. As that is Cameron Harris taking us to the half. Michigan scored the first 13. They put a shock into the system of DC. Defenders came back with that electric touchdown strike from Jordan Ta'amu to Ty Scott for 70 yards. But safe to say, this first half has been controlled with a simplistic attack.
Create some explosives, and then they've got to convert third down. They're 0 for 3 on third down on offensive drives in the first half.
And the game started horribly for Michigan. They got the opening kick. They tripped up and had the football at the 6-yard line, and then went 94 yards for the touchdown. That is Rowland scooping up, short kick, a little shake, a little bake. He's out north of the 35-yard line. Let's take a look at the progressive first half stats. What really jumps out here, obviously the total yards, but within there, it's a 144 to 26 edge for Michigan when it comes to rushing yards. Keep this in mind. There are 26 rushing yards for DC. 28 of them are from the receiver, Kiki QT. So that means 1 carry for the loss of 2 yards by Cameron Harris, the running back.
And it's tough, too, when you look at that. You've only had 12 total plays the entire first half. How do you get into a rhythm? How do you get some confidence? How do you get going as a play caller? I think that's where the third down conversion rate becomes so important here for DC in the second half.
DC still alive in the XFL race, but they need to get a win here because San Antonio and St. Louis are looking like the top dog in that XFL conference. San Antonio will be action coming up later against the Houston Roughnecks. If Michigan gets a win and Houston loses, Michigan punches their ticket to the playoffs.
Let's go, French left. Yeah, 26 Gucci. Hold on, ready. Pistol.
We got Gucci coming up here, Lucas. Trying to set up the ground with Ta'amu. This was a staple of the offense last season. That's a first down. It's been more challenging for Fred Kaisiosi this year.
12. Skins left. 71 Houston. 71 Houston.
You're right about the quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu, and their inability to run him like they'd like to just because he took so many hits early on in the season while they were trying to figure out the offensive line.
Just the third rushing play for DC. Here's pressure. Ta'amu throws it over the fingertips of Ty Scott, who has the lone real offensive outburst with that 70-yard touchdown. Lone points for DC.
Boy, Jordan Ta'amu is going to wish he had that one back. That was a wide open missed opportunity.
So Ta'amu coming off his best performance. It was last week in the win against San Antonio. It's 14 of 22. 63% of his passes were complete. Tom, he's still at the bottom of the UFL at about 54% completion percentage. That one in rhythm, on target, and complete to Kelvin Harmon. The NC State Wolfpack. Harmon has 16 games in his NFL career. Started 8 of them in 2019 with the Commanders. 30 catches as a rookie. However, tore his ACL in the following summer while training to get ready for his second year. Hasn't played in the NFL since. Talk about opportunity. This is Harmon's opportunity. 3rd and 3. Ta'amu. Great blitz pickup there up the middle by Darius Higgins. That set up that run for Ta'amu.
Boy, Ta'amu could have recognized this and took off just a half a step sooner. He would have clearly gotten the first down. Now you got about 4th and half of a yard, but you're right. Great blitz pickup by Darius Higgins. Just wish you would have saw it a little earlier.
So marked short. Caden Smith in motion. That's going to be a timeout called by Reggie Barlow.
Timeout, DC.
You could hear Fred Kice, the offensive coordinator there. Things were not right.
Timeout on the field.
Reggie Barlow there, taking the wise choice. Talk this over. This is a critical down for this DC offense.
Washington, D.C., home of the D.C. Defenders. They're still alive in this race in the XFL Conference, but Reggie Barlow needs a dub here. The beer snake is building. The tension is building because, Tom, we got a 4th and 1 coming up. And D.C., the worst in the UFL on 4th downs. They've converted only once this season. Where does the football go here? As now DeAndre Francois checks in at quarterback. And this will prompt Mike Nolan to take a timeout. How much of that is because of the new quarterback?
Well, it's absolutely because of the new quarterback. And they know that Fred Kice, the offensive coordinator in D.C., would like to use quarterback run here. We've heard 26 Gucci before. That is quarterback keep. And you overload and you run the quarterback. Now, they may change this here because of the Michigan timeout. The last time we got that, we had quarterback run with the lead blocker out on the perimeter to the top of what will be your screen.
We see the stats from Hampton. But DeAndre Francois, most known for what he did early in his career at Florida State, where in 2016, he was the ACC Rookie of the Year over Daniel Jones.
Do you remember that next year? They're number 3 in the country.
Alabama,
and he gets hurt.
And that knee injury derailed his career. Ta'amu now back at quarterback in a diamond formation until Caden Smith bounces out. Hit in the backfield, nowhere for Higgins to go. The Michigan defense continues to flex. That is a win for Colin Bauer, young defensive coordinator who's starting to make a name for himself.
They're going to wish they had not changed that play and just stuck with what they had called. Didn't matter that Michigan called a timeout, because if you have quarterback run called right here, you have the extra blocker. And instead, you're minus a blocker. Good penetration, leveraging of the football from Michigan on defense, not allowing that ball to cut back inside. You see the Michigan linebacker, Davin White, flow over the top, makes this play. And what a tackle, what a play. And I think DC is going to regret making the change to that call.
And the UNLV Rebel, Javin White, makes the play. Remember, that's a replacement for Frank Ginda, the team leader at linebacker. Shaking, baking, and making you feel the hurt is Matthew Coburn, well over 100 yards and continuing to add. Here's Kayla.
Guys, I'm here with Coach Bauer, and you have just been prepping your guys, making huge stops, especially without Frank Ginda in the picture. How would you assess what they just showed out there?
Yeah, Javin White, who replaced Ginda, is really stepping up. He's done an excellent job, really setting the defense, and everyone's thriving off that. When you lose a great player like Frank, everybody's got to step up around him, and so far they're doing it. So got another quarter and a half, and hopefully keep going that way.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, yep.
Ginda on the IR, out for the season. Big blow, but he's got teammates. Oh, what a hit to pick him up. Someone is going to need to help Colburn up after Anthula Kelly just rocked his world. DC is starting to bark a little bit. This is something that Mike Nolan wanted to see how his team handled. DC is known for chirping, talking trash. Could his team handle it with their composure?
Well, they just gave up 7 yards on the ground.
And it helps taking that confidence away with the start like the Panthers have had here today. Colbert, not much there, but 11 carries, 131 yards before that snap. Tom, Michigan is beating DC like the defenders beat teams last year.
There's no question about it. And, you know, they've got a little bit of a dynamic with Bryce Perkins who can pull and run the ball at any time. I think that concerns DC defensively. And then they've had a perimeter passing game. We go Liz zone again. Here we go. So you're either going to give this or you're going to have a potential handoff with a throw into the flat.
Bryce Perkins, a Virginia Cavalier, will keep. That's the element you were waiting for. Yep. So shifty and spinning inside the red zone. Perkins with 1,600 rushing yards in 2 years as the UVA quarterback, showing the athleticism.
Now this time they're reading the defensive tackle, the inside interior defensive lineman, and he came crashing down towards the center, and it was a really good read by Bryce Perkins.
You know who's watching this game right now a little concerned? Skip Holtz. Head coach of the Birmingham Stallions. This is a different team that they saw early that had a chance to beat Birmingham. Throwing on the run, and that is complete to Samson Nakua.
This is such a, it's simplicity made it look complex because of shifts and motions and formations. It's no more than 3 or 4 plays in the entire playbook of what Michigan has done here today on offense.
Wes Hills in at running back. Hills gets the carry, and he is met in the backfield, stop made by Michael Joseph, the leader in tackles in the UFL.
And Tom, it's so different to stop that zone read, especially when you have 3 or 4 options off of it.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Lamar Jackson that's not too far from here in Baltimore. It's a lot of what he does. Yeah. That's something I would have loved to seen on that 4th and 1 for DC offensively.
Yes.
Give the quarterback a zone read with 2 pass options off of it to make it hard for the defense.
Big package here and a jump on the left side of the line. That is Ryan Pope.
False start. 77 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
The guy that's been here for 2 weeks, I love the demeanor of Bryce Perkins. He's in command, he's controlling the huddle, he's upbeat, he's positive, and he's made good decisions, and so is Brian Lewerke.
That is the Beer Snake faithful getting into it now on a 3rd and 6. Trey Quinn in motion. Perkins to throw. He's bounced. Being chased by Davin Bellamy, and Bellamy is going to win that race. The Georgia Bulldog, all XFL performer from last season, makes a critical stop.
Bryce Perkins, he wants to throw the ball to the 2-man route side to his right, but he can't see. So now he gets a little pressure up the field, gets flushed to his right. Fortunate not to make a poor decision with the football. Excellent play from DC, backed up, getting off the field, forcing a field goal attempt here.
Jake Bates time is hit from 51 and 22. This from 40. To the Beer Snake, flag down. There was some movement on the left side of the line as Bates nailed it again.
Offside. We're 25 in the defense in their neutral zone to snap. Penalty is declined. Field goal is successful.
Still would have been a long
field.
4th down attempt, so decline that and keep Jake Bates a perfect 3 for 3 here kicking on the natural grass surface in DC. Snake would weigh about 75 pounds, which would be 2,400 beers. They're working on it.
So my who engineer ran the numbers for me. I put him in the lab, And he even called Audi Field and said, do you have 24-ounce cups or 16-ounce cups? How much do each one of those cups absolutely weigh? There was some serious math going on here to calculate this.
And some serious rules that we'll get into as well. Is Roland takes it from about the 12-yard line and comes left side. He's upended. Yeah, hardy hit there made by Kai Nakua. So with these rules, first off, you can't declare it the beer snake until it's long enough to actually curve.
Yeah, 5 to 10 degrees. We've worked that math as well.
You also have to consume the beverage before adding the cup. There's no dumpage. There's no asking for empty cups. You can't do that.
No. And the effort it takes. Remember, the fewer people, the more that has to be drank.
Everybody is doing their part. And I'll tell you this, there's a lot of proud moms watching right now.
There is.
They're seeing sons and daughters, and they're saying, that's my boy, that's my girl. Thank you for making me proud on Mother's Day. Harris with the short run there as DC looking for answers. But this crowd, you love environments like this. There's unique environments in this league. St. Louis has the biggest and the loudest. To all this, DC says, hold my beer.
But this venue's fantastic.
So much character in this league, on and off the field. Here's to Amu, thrown in the flat, complete to Alex Ellis, and Ellis stumbling forward to right at the first down marker. It's going to be a move the chains opportunity. How about a home field advantage here? Back to the XFL in 2020. 11-1 in this house. Fantastic for this Defenders team. The loss, though, 2 weeks ago to St. Louis. It was the largest loss in the UFL this season.
So here's your 26 Gucci again. Quarterback run, keep to the right.
And to Amu, a rude awakening. Kenny Willekes and Bryce Tornaden as Michigan State and Kansas combining for that stop.
Jordan Ta'amu called this 27 Gucci out of the huddle, which would have been to the left. And I'm not so sure everybody for DC offensively was on the same page there when they checked it late. Nevertheless, defense for Michigan's come to play today.
Big game here for Sparty. Lewerke, all-time leader for Michigan State in total offense. Willekes, all-time leader in tackles for loss. Doing Michigan proud. And that is complete to Kelvin Harmon. Harmon says, I'm still rumbling. But no, spot it down at the 46-yard line. Tornaden, the Kansas Jayhawk, made the hit.
He's down. I think he got his left elbow down as well. Right there. Elbow down. Good look from our crew here. At least they got third and manageable here, Lowell. 0 for 4 today, as we've talked about for DC on third down.
It's the worst third down team in the league, the worst fourth down team in the league. It's been problematic here today. Ta'amu goes down. Braylon speaks, speaking that punishment into existence. Sack number 6. He is one behind Birmingham's Carlos Davis for the UFL lead.
We're going to do a stunt right here on this right side. There they are. So they're going to go here and here, and he's going to work back. And right in Jordan Ta'amu's kitchen. Boom.
That's a player there. Now there is going to be a challenge here. Reggie Barlow has thrown the red super challenge flag. Let's listen in.
I'm on the near card, correct. Frank, I'm with you. The challenging potential roughing the passer. Correct. Okay. We're looking at it. I'm on the near card, so this is the best.
DC is
look.
challenging
You
the
see,
last play for a roughing
defender
the
comes in,
passer
his head is
use of
up.
helmet
That's the
penalty.
first thing I'm looking
This
at.
play's
It looks
being
like the
reviewed.
head gets off to the side. There does appear to be some contact in the head neck area, but that's incidental. He's coming in, he's wrapping. He's not lowering the head. There's nothing additional in terms of the tackle. He just follows through. There's no lift and drive. Don't have enough to make this roughing the passer. Frank, the ruling on the field will stand, loses the challenge and the timeout.
That's Dean Blandino in the U.S. Army Command Center. And the way this works is Reggie Barlow had to specify exactly what part of that play he wanted to challenge. And he
After
was
reviewing the play, there is no foul for use of helmet. DC is charged with their first time out of the half and may not challenge for the remainder of the game.
So he's looking specifically for that contact.
Yeah, and Dean, I'd be curious to know, what would you have needed
say
to
that again,
overturn
Jimmy?
that call? What did you not see?
Jimmy, did you say something? For me, what I was looking for was the defender to lower his head and to make a direct, forcible contact to the head neck area. His head was up, he wrapped, head was to the side. I just did not see that direct blow to the head.
Dean, thank you so much. Trey Quinn with the fair catch. So Michigan will be backed up again, but it really doesn't matter. They are in control of this game.
No, it's interesting there because that's where the crown of the helmet and the lowering of the head really matter the most, right? Because he came into Jordamu with his neck bowed, right? So his face mask is up, not the crown of his helmet down.
Speaks provided one of the more memorable moments from the Egg Bowl in 2017 when he recovered a fumble and somehow, while he was laying on the ground, looked right into the ESPN cameras and it captured him perfectly. Here's Wes Hills. So Wes Hills on the prop bet coming into this game, it was placed at 33.5 rushing yards. He is over that. What you have to hope for, though, if you took the over like we did, you can't go backwards.
Don't take any negative plays. And there haven't been very many of those today for Michigan.
Flag on the play. Like we did, Lowell. Flag on the play. Excessive celebration.
You got it. Empty here for Lewerke. Back in at quarterback. And Lewerke, that's a good job jumping the route there by DeAndre Baker, who won the Thorpe Award in 2018 as the top defensive back in America, making plays like that.
Yeah, Marcus Sims wanted a call. He felt like Baker had his hands on the hips right there. Oh, his left hand tugged a little bit. I like that no call. I really do. I like that no call.
Oh! He just catapulted himself in front of the guy.
Yeah, I'm watching you.
Gotta love the live mics, how we lobby for plays in this league. Lewerke feeling the presence like a veteran, and that unfortunately short.
Ruling on the field was an incomplete pass, fourth down.
Incomplete.
Oh, wow.
But how comfortable was Brian Lewerke there?
But you gotta make that throw. You've seen him, you've located him. Give him a shot, wide open. The good effort by Quinn there to try and go down there and scoop it. Man, what a missed opportunity. Fortunate for DC.
Brings on Brock Miller out of Utah to punt it away. Roland was battling the sun there at the 45-yard line. And Michigan, fantastic special teams so far today, coming up with the stop. UFL Week 8 coming up next weekend, Saturday. Showboats and these Michigan Panthers. Memphis really now just playing to spoil someone's playoff chances. Michigan may have it locked up by then. Then on Sunday, DC and St. Louis, the rematch after St. Louis took it to the Defenders here in DC 2 weeks ago. In Arlington and San Antonio. This big game, Bob, have a little more late season magic like they did last season.
Hey, listen, you can get hot at any time and be a very dangerous football team like a snake backed into a corner. I think Arlington's frustrated. We took their anger out on Memphis yesterday. Now can they carry that over? Finish out the season strong.
DeAndre Francois checks in at quarterback. This will be his first snap after the timeout was called. And they lined up on 4th and short, and this is Roland out of the backfield. Diminutive, but dangerous. Out of Tennessee State, and when 2019 had 104 catches, the most ever at an HBCU, one more than the 103 from Jerry Rice. And they're going back to him on the ground, just looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I think they just want a little bit more explosiveness. Cameron Harris, Darius Hagens, a little bit more power, a little bit more downhill. This guy gives you a little more shake and some juice. And it seems to be boring out very well here as they've had 2 back-to-back very successful positive plays.
Played 2 games in the NFL with the Falcons in 2020. However, 0 offensive snaps. It was all on special teams as a returner. Here's Francois. Backside pressure and brought down by Kai Nakua.
You got 2 downs to get this first down here if you're DC on offense. And DeAndre Francois getting up. A little gimpy there.
What's also now in play, as we're under the final minute in the 3rd quarter, the total at 40.5. We got 28 total points. As there is an injured player, it is Francois down.
Timeout for an injured player to the offense. Please reset the play clock to 10 seconds.
Right now, folks, it took the over or took the under. It's still a lot of time to play. The concern of the moment, though, is Francois. Looks like he's holding his knee as his head coach, Reggie Barlow, will come out to check on him.
Well, and by doing what he did, I watched him get up from the end of the play. A lot of time went off that clock. He was holding his left ankle from the moment he got up before he dropped down onto the ground.
That's a look at Jalen McClendon out of Baylor, who was the number 3 quarterback who's warming up. And this is a look at what happened. So Nakua brought him down, and immediately Francois looks back. Did not feel right from the moment that stop was made. So you'll remember McClendon, he was a quarterback for the XFL Las Vegas Vipers a season ago and really broke out in the second half of the year.
Where's Jordan Ta'amu?
That's the question mark here.
Right here. We didn't have any indication that he had been injured or nicked up at all.
So guys, right now, Jordan Ta'amu is in the locker room. He's being evaluated. I'm waiting on more information at the moment, but he is in the locker room.
Okay.
And so that is what allows McClendon as the number 3 quarterback to enter this game. So what they had to figure out, he may not even have a communication device in his helmet. It's up to the staff on how they divide out the communication devices, 8 per team. A lot of the teams aren't putting those devices in the emergency quarterback's helmet.
Well, then now your communication, do you signal? Do you run players in?
McClendon will keep.
I don't know if I call that.
That's
down to 1 quarterback. You better hand this football off to a running back. You don't have anybody else left to play right now.
Spot on with that. Desperate time, desperate measures. Was able to pick up the first down. So McClendon started off his career backing up Jacoby Brissett and Ryan Finley at North Carolina State. Then transferred to Baylor, where he backed up Charlie Brewer. Started 1 game in his college career. Flag down before the snap. That pass is swung out to Cutie, who we've not seen since that electric 28-yard run early.
They got too many people moving while a man was in motion for DC on offense here. They had shifted and then put a player in motion, and the shifters hadn't been set yet.
Shift on the offense. Fine. He wants to decline it.
Hold on. He's going to...
Moving back, illegal shift. More than one player moving. Illegal shift on the offense. More than one player in motion. Snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that will move DC back.
Might be the longest last minute of a third quarter I've ever been involved in.
2 seconds on the clock, now down to 0.
This is the end
Here
of
comes
the
the fourth quarter. Michigan with the chance to put themselves in position to lock up a spot in the UFL playoffs. They got to win this first.
And also, backup quarterback DeAndre Francois has a lower leg injury. And then now the third quarterback, Jalen McClendon, the equipment staff was over here during the break working on getting his communication device into his helmet so the coaches can talk to him, guys.
Yet down by 16. They are still in this game as we head into the fourth quarter. McClendon, athletic. Flag down, however, as he's out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
They're going to get a bad hold called on him here in the offensive line.
Holding. 89 offense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And Tom, what you're looking at right now is a DC offense with no identity.
Yeah, they have no identity, and now you're worried about play calling because you're playing with your third guy. How do you not overload that person? Now you have negative plays, so you're constantly playing behind the chains. And that time they just held Rondell Carter, number 97. It's a tight end versus a defensive end.
Both these teams now playing with quarterbacks who were at one point this season the number 3 emergency quarterback. McClendon somehow got that off to Harris. Harris sidestepping a defender. A good pursuit there to make the spot by TJ Carter. I could have gone for more.
This is an excellent play call by Fred Kais, trying to come off. Quarterback comes out and goes the wrong direction. Nevertheless, locates Harris for the draw and put yourself now in somewhat of a manageable situation, given you have some positive yardage here on second down.
And he heard or felt those footsteps from Kai Nakua. 2nd and 14. McClendon, almost a circus catch by Ty Scott. Also bouncing around long enough to give Michigan a chance to pick it off. Now there's some obvious rust here with Jalen McClendon.
Sure, one of the reasons you're not hearing his audio or his voice, he's the third quarterback, he's not mic'd up.
DC, a team built on the ground, gonna have to air it out now, and that is how you do it. First down, Ty Scott, another big play by the Missouri State Bear.
Well, I like this poise from Jalen McClendon. He gets back, gets set, they're protecting him well, boom, unleashes the football. Really well thrown ball and a fresh set of downs.
Harris, left side, and the somersault tackle made by Noah Dawkins out of the Citadel.
Number 10, you're gonna watch him in pursuit right here. He just shoots this backside gap between the center and the backside guard. Woo.
Not playing weak side linebacker this year after adding 10 pounds from last season when he played a little nickel. Six tackle for loss for Michigan. Here comes Nakua. They pick him up. Underneath, underthrown, as McClendon Panthers trying to find Ty Scott.
Oh, I tell you, Harry, if he could have just kept his feet set and hit Scott on the run, he might have turned the corner and scored.
Yeah, he was going to come out the back door free.
Yeah.
It would have been a touchdown, too.
What's the thought process now here on 3rd and 13 when you're down by 2 scores?
I think if you get within 4, you've got to try to get a touchdown. You've got to try to go for it, get a fresh set of downs. But you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're forcing yourself to go for it on 4th down with just under 12 minutes to go if it's 4th and 8 or plus.
A lot on the shoulders of McClendon, standing tall. He rifled that as he got absolutely rocked. Kedrick Whitehead, bad intentions on the first-team All-American out of Delaware.
Yeah, he's a late ad. They call that a green dog. Comes through that middle of the field, shortest route to the quarterback, and now you've got to kick this given the line to gain. Get some points, and then get on defense and get off the field.
Matthew McCray, the Kansas State Wildcat, has a miss from 43. Is from 37, low snap, and it is up and good. Gotta give the punter, Paxton Brooks, some props for getting the laces out.
Timeout on the field.
Snap. Still signs of life for DC, but they're running out of.
Ready, set.
Bryce Perkins handled it well back in 2022 when Matthew Stafford went down with a concussion. Got to start in his place. Handling it well with Danny Etling, the LSU Tiger, down with a hand issue. Perkins not looking like a guy that's been with his team for 2 weeks. He's 8 of 10 for 99 yards, and he's in command.
He's in command. He's made good decisions. Hasn't put his team at risk. One of the guys that helped Bronco Mendenhall resurrect the Virginia program.
That is Gavin Holmes, the Baylor Bear, off the bounce. And we'll take it to the 32-yard line. It will be Bryce Perkins yet again at quarterback. Really hasn't seemed, though, like there's been a huge difference between the direction of this offense, whether it is Perkins or Lewerke.
None. In fact, let's listen in. I went over and talked to the offensive coordinator, Marcel Belfay, before the game in the booth just next to us. I said, any special packages? He goes, nope, the offense is the same for both guys.
Nakua in motion, and the carry and spin from Colburn as he goes backwards, which has not happened here today. Let's check in with Kayla.
Well, guys, I'm here with a very special woman on Mother's Day. This is Marcus Sims' mom, Molly Sims. Molly, first and foremost, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We have a huge crowd here today, and I want you guys to make some noise. There are about 100 people here specifically for Marcus because he grew up just about 35 minutes from here. But Molly, I want to ask you, you raised 5 babies, him being the baby. What's it like seeing Marcus do his thing?
It's a very special, bittersweet day. Of course, this is his dream come true, and we have supported him the whole way, and we miss his brother, Michael.
I'm so sorry. Can you tell me why it is bittersweet?
Marcus lost his brother 8 years ago, Michael, and he plays every game for his brother. No doubt about that.
We are keeping you, your family, and your thoughts, and he is playing out there, and you are also an athlete. You played soccer, his dad played football, but where does he get his speed from?
Oh, without a doubt, his mom. No doubt. No doubt. Me.
100%. And listen, I was struggling to find out where you were located in the fans, but I'm seeing this sign. And what does it say?
It says, I breastfed Marcus Sims.
Does he know about that sign?
Oh, yeah, it's a family joke. That's why he's so fast.
There you have it, guys. Well, Molly, thank you so much. Congratulations. Happy Mother's Day. Good luck to your son.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back to you.
I've seen a lot of signs at sporting events. I have yet to see that one. But whatever works, and it got on TV. Here's the booming punt from Brock Miller. Catch up. My goodness, this will come out at the 25. But Brock Miller, the Utah Ute, got all of that. Well, we figured out why Marcus Sims is so fast. It's all about that sign. 22-9, Michigan leads. Well, now is the time. I mean, Tom, we got the expanded college football playoff coming up this fall. And did you see the cover for EA Sports NCAA football was revealed this week?
Yeah, I still don't understand why everybody's so excited about the cover.
Are you kidding me?
Why do you care about who's on the cover?
Because it means it's almost here, and announcing his presence very nearly was Ty Scott, but just out of bounds.
It's a great effort, just didn't get 2 feet in bounds from Ty Scott. So really the cover is that big of a deal?
Because it means it is coming back.
But we already know it's coming back.
But you can taste it now.
Because the cover?
You can feel it. Yes.
Come on.
You obviously don't play. You never once made your own dynasty back in the day, did you?
Tecmo Bowl, baby. Tecmo Bowl.
A or B, up, down, left, or right. Here's McClendon trying to keep DC in this one. That is to Chris Rowland out of Tennessee State, a team that will not be featured in NCAA football, the video game. But here's the deal, right? So if you're DC, yeah, you're on your emergency number 3 quarterback. You're down by 13. But because of the way these rules work in the UFL,
sure,
you're still in it. So since it's the 4th quarter, if you are trailing and you score a touchdown, you have the option to go for it on a 4th and 12 and retain possession of the football.
As opposed to an onside kick attempt. Here, they got to push the ball downfield.
This is going to set up a 4th and short. Got to go for it here, right?
Well, you got to get to the line to gain, Harry. If you're the wide receiver there, you cannot stop short.
Inexcusable. You got to get your depth on your routes so you don't end up in a 4th and short situation. That should have easily been a first down.
And it looks like the punt team is coming on here. And so if you're DC, you've got 1 timeout. There's 7:42 left. Michigan is going to be content to run this clock down as much as you can. You okay with this?
No, I'm not okay with it. Not to mention it took forever for them to decide this as time's running off the clock.
Paxton Brooks. Fight the sun is Trey Quinn, who calls for the fair catch. So coming up next on ESPN, it's San Antonio and Houston. There's the former Washington State Cougar, Tennessee Volunteer, Jarrett Garantano, completing 66% of his passes this year. He's been hurt, so that's why there's only 181 passing yards for him. This is a big game for the Michigan Panthers.
Yes.
Because if they hold on and they win, and San Antonio can beat Houston, that puts Michigan in the playoffs, and they would face the steamrolling Birmingham Stallions and the USFL champ. Top 2 teams from the USFL division and the XFL division get into the playoffs. And here is Perkins to throw. Let it fly. Make mama happy. That's where you get the speed. But there is a flag down.
They're going to get him here.
Pass interference, offense number 9.
Pass interference, number 9 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, go first down.
Okay, so why this is big, Marcus Sims, 36 receiving yards. The over-under for him is 48.5. The over would have hit there without that penalty.
And just that little nudge, and if you see his arm, and the arm extends and gets flat, it's an indicator there. That's exactly what happens. Sometimes it can be subtle. If that arm gets extended and flat, 9 times out of 10, they're going to get you.
And this is why you punt.
I guess so, yeah, sure.
So Marcus Sims had a 60-yarder erased. Entered this game averaging 20 yards per catch, number 1 in the UFL. Under 7 minutes here in DC. Bryce Perkins, clutching, escaping. Eyes downfield, sideline catch. Is it made by Hicatini? They're saying bobble, out of bounds, no catch.
Boy, DC really needed to get a sack right here on this. Bryce Perkins able to evade, get outside. It's a tremendous effort from Hicatini and a really good throw. Just run out of a little bit of real estate. Ball's bobbled there as you see as he hits the ground. Good call by the officials.
And also the catch rule in the UFL, it's like the NFL, 2 feet. Last season in the XFL, it was a college rule, just 1. 2nd and 20 to Bryce Perkins. His first action of the year. Wide open receiver, and it is Wes Hills. Wes Hills out of Slippery Rock. He's going to get a big chunk of those yards back. How about 13?
Well, Wes told Kayla he's more than just a power back. He's dynamic, and right there they split him out wide. He runs the about 10 to 12 yard curl route. Bryce Perkins just taking what the defense gives him. This was such a simple yet effective quarterback-friendly game plan.
See the number there, 38 rushing yards. The total for him in this game, 33.5. So at the moment, the over is hit with Wells Hills on that player prop. Perkins in trouble, floated up, one-handed catch by Hills, but no yardage there as he was blanketed by Santos Ramirez, the Arkansas Razorback.
This was initially a chip block, helping out that offensive tackle from Hills. He does his job, and then they try to dump him off. DC doing a nice job being in position, making the tackle. They got to make something happen, potentially on this return right here.
And they're going to back off and let Roland do his thing. He has slipped on one punt, he muffed it, and that is taking a friendly bounce for the DC defenders, and a flag is down.
Got a flag.
We got an illegal bat by the kicking team. You got a number, Griff?
What's the result? Where's the end of the kick, end of the play?
I believe it was 52.
Okay.
52 with the illegal bat.
Where's the end of the play?
41, so you can go 10 from there.
Or they can take it here. Which is better? The end of the kick is the 41?
Kick one out of bounds at the 41. You can put it on the 51.
Or they can go 10 from the 41.
It's the 51. That would be the 51, yeah.
Right. Okay. They're going to want he wants it, right? He wants a penalty. Number? What number?
52.
Oh. Illegal batting. Kicking team, number 52. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down. DC.
I love how the officials talk. We're going to put on the 51-yard line. Plus 49.
Defense, guys, you cannot bat the ball, all right? LT did it a couple weeks ago and got away with it, but that... Guys, you cannot bat the ball, all right?
Those are the details. So lesson learned, even if they did get away with it recently. Here we go. Great field position for Jalen McClendon. No Jordan Ta'amu or DeAndre Francois to the hands of the number 3 quarterback. Facing pressure and underthrows it. That was a game changer waiting to happen. Incomplete to Kiki QT.
Oh, if he could have just been able to get a little more force on this ball and bend QT over to the sideline, I think they would add a catch. On those corner routes, Harry, sometimes you got to bend the receiver back over to the sideline.
Yeah, you could tell they weren't on the same page. Jalen McClendon was thinking one thing, the receiver was thinking another one. That's why you got the incomplete pass.
Big final 4.5 minutes for that total. Nervous moments, whether you pick the under or the over, and that is going to help the under. Willikis with another tackle for loss. The former walk-on of the year from Michigan State.
See him off the edge here. He's going to come upfield a step and then go right to the inside. The back's got to take the outside responsibility because the tackle's one-on-one with Willikis. That's just a nice job of using your hands, getting skinny and closing to the quarterback.
2018 won the Big Twin Defensive Lineman of the Year award. 2019, the Bullsworth Trophy as the top former walk-on in college football. And the penalty flag is down.
Legal substitution, too many men in the huddle. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Let's check in with Harry.
Yes, guys, another injury update. Star wide receiver Kelvin Harmon, he was now out of this game with a hamstring injury. So that's now 2 quarterbacks and now the star wide receiver out of this football game.
So Harmon, most targeted receiver and the leading receiver on this team, is out. If you took his player prop with the under, you hit, because he's got 32 receiving yards. Total was set at 49.5. At hurdle, not going too far with the Stanford Cardinal, Caden Smith.
David White all over that. Number 11 filling in for Frank Kinda was coming in hot.
So 3:20 left, a 4th and 15, gotta go for it. That total at 40.5, we've got 31 combined points. If you took the over, you need DC to score, get that 4th down conversion, and score again. McClendon keeping it alive, flag is down, and he slides down well short of the 1st down marker. And it looks like this will be against DC.
Holding, 73 the offense, penalties declined. Result of the play is turnover on downs, 1st down.
Is he under safe now?
I think the under could be safe right now, but I'm not concerned about the under. All I need to make sure that happens today is that West Hills does not lose 5.5 yards in the next 2 minutes and 55 seconds.
So really, you don't want to see him on the field, and he's not. Right now, it's Matthew Colburn, the Wake Forest Demon Deacon, who has been the star of this game. He has put in one of the top rushing performances of the year with 130 yards on 13 carries. 3rd most in the league so far. He gets another opportunity, bouncing out. And Tom, this game has really followed the script that DC expected. They thought that Michigan would run the football, try to get their big running backs to the perimeter. They've done that. They just have not been able to stop it.
They haven't been able to stop inside run, outside run, and then the short play-action passing game that has come off of the inside zone, which has been their staple play today.
2nd and 8. Brian Lewerke out of Michigan State in at quarterback. That is Matthew Colburn, the 26-year-old. It's going to set up a 3rd and long. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Michigan can taste the UFL playoffs. 2 minutes. If they get the win, and San Antonio beats Houston in the next game, Panthers are in. Set to take on the Houston Roughnecks. He's the standout rusher of the San Antonio Brahmas. 248 rushing yards the last 2 games. He is the man with the biggest rushing performance so far in a game this season. We've seen Matthew Colburn challenge that with 131 rushing yards in this game for the Michigan Panthers. That is coming up next on ESPN. There is Colburn. He's along the 53. It's time to keep adding to that total, but that will be short of the 1st down marker, so here comes a 4th down. These are clinching scenarios. Stallions are already in the USFL Conference Championship game. They've won 14 straight dating back to last year. Panthers, looks like they're going to beat DC. If San Antonio beats Houston, they're in. Memphis is about to be eliminated, and Arlington will be eliminated if the Brahmas get that win against Houston. This was such an opportunity for DC. If they would have found a way to take this one, take down St. Louis next week, it would have been all sorts of chaos in the XFL race.
5-yard penalty.
Now there's a penalty flag down, delay a game for Michigan, so they'll be content to back this one up and let Brock Miller punt it away. But Tom, I don't think we can say enough about the job that man has done. Mike Nolan, Marcel Belfay, his offensive coordinator. Think about what they went through this week. No Frank Ginda, that's the quarterback of the defense. No Danny Etling and E.J. Perry. Those are literally the quarterbacks, and they have looked as good as they have all season long.
And then they lose Cioce Mariner, who had come on and emerged as the target opposite of Marcus Sims to help these inexperienced quarterbacks out. They lose him in the first half of today's game. You can't say enough about how Mike Nolan and this staff have managed these pieces, gotten the pulse of their football team, and exactly what's going to work, what's not, what do we got to stay away from, how do we make our quarterbacks comfortable.
Yeah, I know.
Mike Nolan is a man that's been there, done that. Head coach of the San Francisco 49ers from 05 to 08. He's been the defensive coordinator for 8 NFL teams. It's been a very simple approach, which has been smart by Marcel Belfay.
Yes.
Teams could start to catch on to that, but here's the thing. Danny Etling is week to week. So it's just a matter of time before they get Etling back at the quarterback position.
And his injury is a left hand injury, which you hope is something you can work and manage around as opposed to some lower extremity or something on your throwing arm.
Jalen McClendon, last year with the Las Vegas Vipers, now the emergency quarterback for DC. And that is complete to Vincent Smith. And Vincent Smith, the D2 Limestone Saint, picks up the positive yardage. Limestone, another team that you will not be able to play with in EA Sports NCAA football.
But does Limestone ever play Slippery Rock? That's the question.
The Battle of the Rocks. We need to get that one done. Here's McClendon. And the catch is made by Darius Higgins. What does DC do with the questions now?
Cool.
With Ta'amu and Francois at quarterback.
Just looked like they gained so much confidence and momentum last week, winning that game.
Third and final timeout, DC.
Against San Antonio. And you just got the sense that, uh-oh, this team could be coming on. It looks like it's all coming together. And then today you lose Kelvin Harmon. You lose your starting quarterback. You lose your backup quarterback after just a couple of plays in DeAndre Francois. Now you're on to your third quarterback, who they didn't even have a communication radio with in his helmet. And you go back to the drawing board and you try to figure out, all right, how do we get this thing back on track? But most importantly, how do we get healthy and get our best 11 on the field at all times?
When it comes to ESPN Bet, the under will hit that total at 40.5. All the player props, the under hit, with the exception of Wes Hills, who barely squeaked by. It was 33.5 rushing yards for him. He's got 38 right now. McClendon.
Well, and poor Harry Douglas, his betting prowess.
Are we going to do this to him?
Continued to go downhill from the Kentucky Derby to here.
Harry, your thoughts?
Just stop betting, Harry. My wife wasn't happy with me at the Kentucky Derby. I bet the wrong way. Didn't win one race. Now today.
Yeah. And now she's going to go shopping, and you're not going to be able to say a thing about it.
Not a word. Happy Mother's Day, my love.
That's right. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. My wife, Tennille. Your wife, Kristen.
Absolutely. My mom, Karen.
My mom, Sue.
And we've got one Michigan Panther surrounded by all the DC defenders, and he wants to keep this fight going. And that is what this game has been, an absolute fight by the Michigan Panthers underman. It was the first time in 5 games they entered as an underdog even though they started the week as a favorite, they have come out and they have made a statement. Now they need to hope for a San Antonio win in our next game against Houston, and Mike Nolan is going to have a shot against Skip Holtz in the USFL Division Championship.
Yeah, this thing's starting to come down to the wire here. And again, can you stay hot? Do you peak at the right time? And most important, how do you stay healthy?
Yeah.
You got to have your primary players available and healthy.
Huge game for Matthew Coburn with the third best rushing performance of the season in the UFL, standing by with Caleb Burton.
Yeah, guys, 16 carries, 137 yards, a career high for you. In moments like this, Matt, when you are working with two different quarterbacks, how important is it for you to step up?
It's huge. I mean, you know, we got to do our job no matter what the circumstance is. And, you know, it's a credit to us, a credit to the work that we put in during the week. You know, I mean, this is like our fourth quarterback, you know, during the whole year, which is crazy. But, you know, there's only so many things you can control in this game. And the biggest ones is just how you prepare and how you perform.
When you're out here, how does the game open up for you the way it did here today?
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, other than just the preparation, you know what I mean? And then, you know, God just being on our side and me just trusting and the guys up front, they trusted me to make the right read, the right cut. You know, just everybody being in alignment, everybody being on the same page. You know, I feel like our chemistry as a team has just improved every single week. So, you know, it's just a credit to us, credit our coach.